Hi, my name is Ingrid Anna, and welcome to the Divine Femme Money Show, the juiciest conversation for women about money, power, sensuality, relationship, and business. So in this episode, Couture Goddess, I share how you can package up and sell powerful high-end offers that are literally drill-worthy, that have your dream client lining up to pay you the big bucks so that you can scale your brand, do epic work in the world, make more money than you ever have before from a place of nourishment and divine femme power. So let's get this show on the road if you are ready to rise into radical divine riches and fully claim your worth, because you are couture, darling, not bargain basement seconds. You can find the Divine Femme Money Show at your favorite podcast provider and at ingridanna.com/show. Hey, gorgeous beauties. Welcome to Couture Goddess. I am so happy to be here with you today. This crown is incredibly uncomfortable, but I thought I'd just put it on because I think it's absolutely hilarious and also perfect because it explains the exact energy that I want to help activate within you today, that we want to absolutely claim so that you can rise up into sacred, divine, holy abundance as you release the shame, the karmic cords of suffering, to literally allow in sacred, divine abundance. Okay, beauties. So today, welcome. I'm going to be sharing the 3 critical shifts you need to make if you want to attract the right high-paying clients in 7 days or less into your business. Okay. So please bear with me today because I sound really blocked up because I've got a little bit of a cold. So if I sound nasally, that is why. Okay, beauties. So this is the exact system that I use to generate 2 million in sales in under 18 months. So for those of you who don't know me very well, I struggled in my business for the first few years. I'll share more about that soon. So I was able to do this really quickly and get into absolute cash flow really quickly after really suffering for so long in that under-earning, over-giving, money karma drama and self-worth, lack of self-worth drama, right? So I'm going to share more soon. So this is really for you if you're ready to quantum leap into riches with Queen Diva strategy and sacred grace while working half the time, working half as much. So I really want you to just take a moment, take a beat. We've got these busy lives, lots going on, and I just want you to really just ground your energy and come into your heart space for a moment. And let's slow down. And I want you to really feel into what would your life look and feel like if you were really, truly owning the value of your work, and if you could make literally 10 or 20 times more than you are now by delivering your most sacred, transformational coaching or healing service, right? And you were working half as much. I have a client, D, who was able to go from 20K months working 80 hours a week, right? And get this, D is in her 70s. She waited until her 70s to do this work. She more than doubled her income. She went to about 50 to 60K a month. She's now got a waiting list for 25K and 50K packages. And she has dropped her hours by less than a quarter. So she's only working part-time and she's more than doubled her income doing the work that she absolutely loves to do in her 70s. And she came to me saying, Ingrid, I need help because I want to spend time with my grandkids. I've worked this way my entire life and I'm friggin' over it. So let's just take a moment to really feel into that. You might want to share a little bit. Like, what would that feel like to you? What part of yourself do you need to own? What are you, kind of putting up with or settling for that really no longer serves you? You may already be at 50K months even, and you want to go to the next level. It's not just about more money. It's about more service, more time, more space, more peace. I was speaking to my students in 7-Figure Diva Mind. We have 2 different programs that I run, 6-Figure Diva and 7-Figure Diva. We work with students all around the world. And yesterday I was doing a 2.5-hour deep dive immersion on webinar strategy and copywriting. And I talked about my own journey of what's really important to me. And what's really important to me, as I've learned to, I now run a multi-million-dollar company. I work with women all around the world. I'm doing the work that I absolutely love to do. I'm a shaman, I'm a healer, I'm a mystic, I'm a strategist, I'm a copywriter, I'm all those things, right? And I get to do this sacred work that I love to do. But now what is so important is also ensuring that I do it from that place of deep divine nourishment. And I will tell you that that comes from being incredibly clear and mindful. You need to have clear boundaries. You need to know how to create a structured system. You need to automate your offers so that you're not working so hard carrying the load. And it does come with a lot of deep alignment and healing work, because we have been so conditioned to settle for so fucking little. Can you hear me, sisters? Put amen, sister. Just fucking put up with so little. It is literally brainwashed into us. I'm going today to share with you, that didn't come out right. Today I'm going to share with you a little bit about the Cinderella complex, but it's also just be nice. Just be nice. Just look after everybody. And this conditioning is fucking toxic. There is no surprise that 80 to 90% of Americans, and it's a global epidemic, suffer from adrenal health issues. Why? Why is that? Where does adrenal health issue come from? Fight-flight patterns, unresolved trauma, patriarchal conditioning of work, work, work. If you're in corporate right now and you want to get out of it, call me. It is not set up for the feminine. It is not set up for women. Been there, done that. I worked in corporate America advertising for many years, and I also worked in media from the age of 18, and I've also done corporate development work for big organizations in Australia, and I absolutely hated it. Okay, so it's time for you to have what you want. So if you want abundance and freedom and space, you've definitely come to the right space. If you want to do sacred work, if you want to work from anywhere, if you want to make an absolute difference, if you want to own your power, if you want to heal your soul and your body, if you want to fucking feel lit up and turned on working from your womb space, your heart space, your soul space, then you're in the right place. So this system will support you to hit your first $1 million, whether it's this year, the next year, in 3 years' time, 5 years' time. It might not be your goal. It might just be another 50K this year. It might be another 100K. It depends on where you're at in your business, and it also depends on your frequency and your mindset. Okay? So this is a way that is going to deeply not only serve you, it's going to serve your family and serve your clients. So it's a win-win. It's like a circular divine. You know, there's no mistake that I had the infinity symbol in the Couture Goddess brand logo, right? It's an infinite supply. There's infinite supply of abundance. There's an infinite supply of money. There's an infinite supply of people who are currently calling out for you to serve them. Okay? So it is an incredible time right now. We are sitting at the precipice of what I call the divine femme money revolution. It's the era of the feminine. It's the era of the revolutionary woman who is just so ready to serve and prosper and live the good life. So let's get clear about this. Money loves speed, money loves service, and money loves soul. Money loves soul, right? So when I talk about money, it's conscious money, conscious capitalism. Money that is made through the act of service is so divine and sacred and healing. Can you feel what I'm saying, beauties? And I really want you to get this so deeply, because you will not allow yourself to receive it if you feel that money is a blasphemy or shameful or a sin. It is a spiritual divine blessing to make money, because as one woman rises in her divine femme power into her financial sovereignty, we are able to pay it forward, pay it on, and change the world, right? We're not going to do that from an impoverished state, okay? So claim money now. You've also got a follow along workbook here. I've got a divine little prayer that I wrote in here, an invocation. Now, chants and mantras work the best when you're visualizing and feeling into the future realm of what you want to receive. If you want to change your destiny, you want to change your frequency and your energy first, right? So I was also speaking to my students yesterday, my divas, who are amazing women, and I was saying, when anyone ever works with me privately, which I don't do a lot of anymore, but if I do it, I do it because I want to do it, not because I need to sell it to make money, okay? Because my business is set up to do really group high-end work, and I'll share a little bit more with you about that. And I get to reach hundreds of women every single month, you know, and it's incredible, and they get deep level of service, and I get to ensure that I also maintain my energy field, but also reach so many women at once, and it's wonderful. But before anyone comes to work with me privately, and in all my courses as well, everyone gets group divine healing activations where we have a divine high priestess and kinesiologist and a beautiful divine leadership coach who every single week we're doing channelings and clearings so that we are combining deep aligned metaphysical healing with marketing messaging and deep aligned advanced strategic work so that you can build and scale a beautiful booming business. So why do I do that? Why do I ensure that someone goes and gets a healing activation? And I do that work as well, but because I'm incredibly mindful of my energy these days, and where I best serve is really doing very deep, you know, ads, funnels, strategy positioning, copywriting. I train copywriters. I've trained many women to build $1 million plus copywriting businesses. They're my clients, but my background is copy, messaging, sales, and advertising. So, and also I've studied shamanism, healing, mind, body medicine, you name it, okay? So all of that combined is my mastery. Today, I really want you to tap into your mastery. But the reason that we do the healings like that is to ensure that by the time someone is coming to one of my classes or someone is working with me privately, that they've cleared any resistance that they have towards hearing and processing and assimilating the information. So you also might want to think about that when you're working with clients. But that's why I do it, because I'm thinking about, and I'll come back to this in a second, I'm thinking about serving my client. And that is what Couture Goddess is about. It's not about putting a huge price tag on a lame offer. It's about ensuring that you deliver the most highest divine quality of service. And for that, you deserve every single cent plus some. Okay? I'm going to take off this crown because it's really hurting me. And we only do pleasure around here, okay? I just wanted to put the point across. The point across is you deserve to make money for your sacred divine work in the world. There should be no shame and no stigma and no competition. I just had a beautiful woman called Sana join my, you want me to put my tidy up my hair? Do you want to come and do it for me? Because I have no idea what I'm doing here. And when you get really rich, you can have assistants fluff up your hair. Hey, gorgeous. And like, actually, you know, the thing is, when I first started, I started working from a shitty little apartment. Then I had this old, like shed out the back that I gutted out and polished, and I did my videos there. And fast forward 6 years, here I am, and I'm driving in. This is a building that I bought. It's a beautiful 3-story house that I bought 2 minutes from my home where I was working for years. I had staff arriving every single day. And after 2 years of saving and putting money away, I just thought one day, I can't do this anymore. I have to expand myself. I need to create space so I can grow and build, and I need to do it in a way that's nourishing. And when I need to rest and fill my cup up, if I've got staff literally sitting under my house and under my bedroom when I'm trying to rest, right? It's not very conducive to having, you know, an abundant, really rich and nourishing business and life. It's not good for me. So I manifested this house and I put the deposit down ASAP and fucking made it happen. And that is the exact same thing that you need to do when you're deciding to work with a coach and invest and grow your business. I see far too many women who are like, and it's just like the energy that I have for my work and my business and what we bring forward in my programs is a very deep energy of movement. I'm actually writing an email like fucking move. Like, it's not about the hustle and force. It's about clarity. It's about service. It's about deliberateness, and it's about getting out of your own way. And if you are in your own way now and you're in stagnation, I tell you, sure as shit. But at the end of the day, I will tell you, you are not focusing on the service. So every single day, if I ever feel like I'm in a position of stagnation and the money isn't coming in, I don't have the flow, I will tell you, I'm either not communicating my service and my offering with enough clarity and power, so people are not listening and they don't care, or you're so caught up in scarcity, you're so afraid to be seen and show up, you're so kind of consumed by your own story of suffering that you're not focused on delivering an epic service, right? So when you are finding it hard to get out of your own way, the question that you want to ask yourself every single day is, how can I best serve? Dear Divine Creative, all that is, how can I best serve? What needs to be said today? What do I need to share? And what is the most juicy divine offer that I can put together that it is going to ensure radical transformation for my client? Is everyone hearing what I'm saying? Yes. So there's a few things that I want you to do today. I want you to watch this training. I want you to listen. I want you to put your story to the side for now, okay? I don't really want you to think about what's in your bank account or what the reality is there. It might be great. It might be not so great. You want to think about what you're creating now over the next 60 to 90 days even. Think of a small chunk of time, even just 6-week increments of time. Do you want to sell 5 spots at 5K, at 25K? Do you want to bring in 100 grand? I've had clients do multi-6-figure launches in 3 months of working with me. You will not claim that for yourself if you don't have it as a reality. Write the amount down. So number 1 is watch the training. Write the amount down today under this training and tell me what you're committed to making and what you're committed to doing around your service in terms of what do you need to release? What is your core message? Like, what is the key problem that you're solving? And number 2 is I want you to book in a call with one of my divas. Yes, we will pitch you if we feel you are a match, but this is not just a pitch fest call. This call will help you map out. It is a coaching strategy call. If you don't want to hear about working with us, then we will not pitch you. Get on a call, have a strategic call, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through a process that I've created that is going to connect you to your core offering, your core message, so that you really know what your next steps are. Okay, so absolutely do that. So sorry, my nose is so blocked and I think I've lost, oh, here's my tissue. Okay. So you just go to ingridana.com/chat. Now, one of the girls, Megan on my team, or a few other girls who are watching, excuse me to blow my nose, sorry guys. We'll have a chat link there for you to book into. You'll see a time, choose a time, answer the questions, and please be respectful and turn the F up to the call. If you have to reschedule. I pay these women, these are strategists, so please respect me and respect them and respect their time, and make sure that you show up, okay? So a little bit more about me. I've kind of shared my story. I have 20 years of experience in marketing, sales, capital raising, advertising, and TV show development. Yes, I've been featured in all these magazines. Wonderful. Ooh la la. The catalyst for my ascension was I lost a company in New York. I had a clothing line. It went to basic shit. I was basically blackmailed by a lawyer who stole my corporate kit. Whole big story. I'll share it one day on my podcast in deeper detail of what I learned there. But the biggest lesson that I learned there is that I'm not to be dependent on anyone else to help me with my success. Really, at the end of the day, when you're raising money or you're running a company, you know, you're the CEO of your company, and you really, if you're in a state of absolute fear and terror, you'll make terrible decisions. Okay. And all that sort of murky, weird energy will come in. And I was very, very needy and needed this help. And this person literally ripped me off. Okay. It was like a scene out of a movie. Okay. So I came home pretty much on empty, both emotionally. I was completely wrecked emotionally. I felt like the biggest failure. and I had very little cash in the bank, and I had given just birth to my daughter, and I thought, this is ridiculous. And I was on calls. I am a chronic, my background, chronic overgiver, which is a fight flight pattern of mine to really, protect myself and make everything okay and make everything beautiful for people. I'm a Libra in 4 planets, and I love things to be beautiful, not just aesthetics and clothes, but to make it beautiful for other people. It's part of why I'm here, to help people live in more abundance and beauty. It's not just about the financial abundance, right? It's to have peace in our soul and to feel really good. And so I spent a lot of energy sort of as a rescuer and not really enough energy really building a solid business framework. So I remember being in hospital. I just had a cesarean because I had a breech birth and a few womb traumas. So I had this big surgery, and I was still on the call to clients. I'd already delivered the work, and I was still delivering, basically working for free in hospital, kind of caught up in that manic loop of survival. And just a pattern that had been ingrained in me for so many years. And, I talk a lot about, it's beautiful to have generosity and heart and soul and be a soul empath and really care. But unless you can monetize your work, you will literally poison the very fiber of your being. And my catalyst was really my daughter, because I wanted to ensure that I raise a really powerfully strong woman. And I couldn't go around acting like a wreck of a woman anymore, the victim, the exhausted one, the broke woman, that archetype of like real just struggle. So I decided to do something about it. Part of me wanted to quit and give up forever. But I married an incredible partner and man who I love tremendously, who's amazing. But he is not a visionary, right? That's not his path. His path is to support me. And I meet a lot of women who are visionary women, and their partners, they won't get your vision. They can support your vision. They can kind of be there to be the rock. But it's up to you to own and believe in your vision. And quite frankly, no one will follow you. And as a coach, as a leader, if you don't embody a deep sense of reverence and self-love and honoring of your work and your vision, I can tell you people will ignore you. They will ignore you. So women have been conditioned for time, eras, like hundreds of years, to disown our voices, to disown ourselves. And the online world is incredible because it's opening up a doorway for women to be seen and heard, for women to work for themselves, for women to work from the home. You could have a very successful business, $1 million plus business if you wanted to, if you get the right structures in place, working part-time, honestly. At the beginning, you're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to learn. You're going to have to do the healing work. You're going to have to purge. But when you learn it, it will become the very part of your being, right? And it becomes easy. So over the past 6 years, I should say, it says we've built, me and my team, because I have a beautiful team. It was just me, and then it was me and my husband, and then I hired my first VA. And I remember getting her bill every week thinking, oh my God, how am I going to be able to afford this? It was such a stretch. But things, if you're an entrepreneur, every investment that you make, the investments that I still make today, buying this home, buying this house, they're bigger investments, but they're a stretch. And you've got to get fucking comfortable with the stretch. Otherwise, don't be an entrepreneur. I think sometimes people think, they feel bad because they feel the stretch, and there's uncomfortable feeling. Get fucking comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that is what it takes. Is anyone laughing a little bit with me? What do you think it's gonna be? Just this easy ride? You've got to become the woman you're here to be. You've got to go into a state of remembrance. You've got to do and learn all the things. We were reviewing some of the girls in another course of our 6-Figure Diva, and there's heaps of things that they're not doing. They're not listening to us. And so we were writing a new checklist down of do this, do this, do this. And Emily, my COO, who's also my head leadership coach here for me, who's amazing, we were laughing because we were like, oh my God. And Emily said, when I first met you, Ingrid, I remember you messaging me saying, why aren't you doing this? And why aren't you doing that? So you can't be hard on yourself. You know, I had to learn it from the beginning. She had to learn it. But you absolutely need to learn it if you want to rise into riches. And this will then serve you for the rest of your life, okay? So I got rich, right, by teaching a process that makes visionary women wealthy, okay? And you will get rich and wealthy by teaching women a process that they really need. Whether you're a business coach, a healer, a mystic, a relationship coach, a weight loss coach, whatever genre you're in. I have a woman currently in one of my courses. I can't talk, sorry. She's a birthing doula, and we've created a curriculum with her, or co-created it, and now she teaches other women how to be birthing doulas, and she's making 30 to 40K a month, and she's got a baby on her hip, 2 little kids, her husband doesn't work, and she is the visionary boss diva of her family, and it's fucking amazing. Okay. So I invite you to get rich, darling, because it's the only way to truly serve, be free, and retire in style. Think about the future. Do the things that are uncomfortable now to make sure that you're rich as fuck and you can live the good life. Just imagine if you could start cutting your work weeks in half, earn without a glass ceiling in your business while doing what you love, book out your calendar with premium clients without working more hours. Oh yes, that just makes my body purr in pleasure. Being a dedicated parent without giving up your income and never being chained to your desk again. There is no shortage of dream clients waiting for you. Absolutely feel into that as well. There's no shortage. If you aren't getting clients right now, it's because you're not marketing and communicating in a way that makes them fucking take notice. Chances are you're hiding, you're invisible, your offers all over the place, and we're going to talk about that more, okay? And that is all fixable. It's something that you can solve pretty much overnight when you have the right support, right? And when you make a choice. Stop doing what you've always been doing, right? You need to change things. Okay, so you need to also understand, you probably heard this quote, I've stated it many times, just so that you understand, the e-learning, online learning industry is a $325 billion industry. Pretty much almost soon in 2025, right? That means that you can claim your golden piece of it. There's plenty of money to be made. If you're in scarcity thinking, oh my God, who's going to pay me 3, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100K for an offer? Yes, 100K for an offer, 50K for an offer, 25K for an offer. I just had a girl join Six Figure Diva. She's crafted a $26,000 offer, and I've got a slide somewhere here and I'm going to talk about it now. What is the difference? Here's a question. What is the difference between someone who can barely sell a $2,000 offer and someone who's selling 25K offers like hotcakes? What do you think the difference is? Okay. I'll tell you. There's 2 core things that I believe are the difference. Number 1 is the person that's selling the 25Ks has fully embodied and decided to own the value of her own work. And she's gone and crafted a curriculum and a process, an intellectual process that can take a client from pain to power, from pain to prosperity, or from suffering to salvation. It's a transformational process. So you've really taken the time to think about it and really broken down the key fundamental shifts and transformations your dream client needs to go on. Then you also are sort of sitting so deeply with the resonance and the value of the work that when you go to speak about it and sell it, you're not in rejection of yourself and your work. If you could look at yourself like an energy field, your energy field needs to be like a crystalline divine code of embodied divine ownership and riches. Otherwise, you will repel the sale. You will repel the flow of client attraction to you because you're basically all over the place. You're like a shattered field of energy that is not clear about what she wants. So you're getting all the polarities of what you don't want because you haven't claimed it and embodied it for yourself. Okay. I was explaining going to my eye lady, talking about getting tattoo, and the woman was really good at just tinting my eyebrows. And when I asked her about her tattoo, she began to speak in a really insecure way. And I was explaining the story yesterday, and so I just pulled out. I was like, well, I'm not going to go and like get my eyes tattooed, my brows tattooed with you, because you're not owning your work. I'm not going to go and pay $10, $20, $30,000 to hire someone to help me with my health, for instance, which I would easily pay if I really believed that the person had full divine ownership and a modality and a craft to serve me. Is everyone getting where I'm coming from? So it's not just owning, like, oh yeah, I'm worth 25 grand and embodying it from that point, which is one part. But, you know, some righteousness is good. Like I own that, but you have to be able to have the process, the gift, the shamanism, the healing, the coaching process to go along with it, right? Okay. I'm going to move past this. So we're going to go into, if you want to be couture, you have to give up the Cinderella complex, okay? Can we put on the aircon? I'm sitting here in my jacket, unless I take my jacket off. What do you think? Do I take my jacket?
I'm kind of hot as well.
We're all hot. There's so much sun in this room. Sorry that I'm sniffling. So the Cinderella complex, and I explained this, you might have seen the video with a client of mine, past client of mine, Rendina. And I said to her one day, stop it. You're acting like Cinderella. Like, fucking stop the saga and the story. It's the damsel in distress story. Put on this fucking slipper and never, ever take it off, right? So a lot of women, we've been abused, we've been traumatized, we've had loss, we've hired coaches that didn't, really help us. And we've got, maybe a partner that doesn't really believe in us or family members. We've got all that. And we're living in the energy realm of damsel in distress. And that is never going to take you very far. So today, I really want you to just decide that you will release that. And you need to literally put on your crown, and you need to put on the slipper and decide that you're worth it, that you have enough talent, that you have the ability, that you're going to learn and master what it takes. You need to basically do an online MBA in business. I don't understand why people go and do degrees. People go and learn how to become a surgeon before they go, cutting into your body. They learn, they become masters of it. How is it and why is it that so many women go online and don't do adequate study and kind of just try to wing it, and then wonder why they're not making money? You have to study. Being the most talented healer and shaman in the world is not enough. You need to marry it with the marketing prowess, the marketing vixen who knows how to deeply communicate and connect with her audience and establish that relationship. And really, at the end of the day, if our relationship with ourselves is not solid, how are you going to transmute that and have a relationship with another human being on a global level? So hear what I'm saying, the relationship, that's why the work that we do when we're teaching women to really come into financial sovereignty, first, always is teaching you to come into your own personal sovereignty, because the whole thing doesn't work otherwise. It's a circular, beautiful infinity symbol of personal power to prosperous, financial power, right? It's an evolution of real transference of inner to external. You don't just it has to start within on that deep, deep level. Okay. So the sacrifice archetype must end, and the couture goddess must rise for the emancipation of women to truly happen in our lifetime. The proven process of reinvention, this is what it is. You need to rewire your habits, rewire your frequency, and get into a whole new divine, rich diva groove. So your work and contributions do not belong on the sales rack, okay? You've got to stop discounting, stop bargaining, stop doing things for free. You might even be doing courses already, and you might already have a mastermind, and you're still working way too hard for the money. Or you're attracting clients that just want to take and take and take from you because you haven't set a clear boundary. You're not treating yourself with respect, and then other people do not treat you with respect. So you're not bargain basement seconds, you're couture. You're the highest level of service. You're the highest level of transformation, and you need to get paid appropriately for that transformation. So I work about 25 hours a week, and I have a team of 30 people who work with me both in this office space but also remotely around the world. And I honestly believe that if I can do it, you can do it too. Absolutely. You do need to apply yourself. So we're going to talk today about the Oh My God $1 million offer method. Okay. You need to have 3 key components. Number 1 is your offer. Number 2 is the message. And number 3 is the goal, which is the monetization process. So shift 1, offer. Let's talk about it. You need to craft, position, and align with sacred service. I've talked a lot about that already. The rookie mistake that you're making that keeps you under earning, exhausted, and stuck in constant hustle mode, right? If you want a constant stream of clients hitting on that buy button, you need to stop doing this now, which is playing small with tiny offers, and you need to start building that most potent divine brand and offering that you possibly can. The goddess mode is about ensuring you're not stuck in giving it all away for free or working like a slave either. This is about creating that divine transformational experience for your dream clients. So when you're thinking of the outcome of your client, you want to think about the outcome that they're going to get, and then you want to work backwards, and then you want to price it for what it's worth, right? And really at the end of the day, say you're charging $10K for an offer, the chances are it's going to be worth at least $20,000 or $30,000, like 2 to 3 times more than what you're charging, right? So you really want to start with the outcome. I'm constantly asking my students, what's the core outcome you provide? What is the core outcome you provide? What is the problem that you solve? You need to get so clear on that, and then you begin to create the process from that point. Your signature offer is all you need to build $1 million brand. Obviously, you're going to eventually have funnels. Obviously, you need to get into video marketing. Obviously, you're going to eventually be doing webinars and all those kinds of things. But you really only need 1 core offer, not 10 offers, not 3 offers, and you don't need to launch all the time or do anything like that. We teach the ongoing enrollment process. So that means that you're able to take on clients and students every single day with 1 core offer. It makes it streamlined, sexy, and soulful as all heck, okay? It simplifies the process of building your brand online. So I've already talked about this. What's the difference? The difference is ownership and having a proven process that gets incredible results for your clients. So, oh my God, I've got all these slides. I've already talked about it. So you need to create a client experience that builds long-term relationships and turns your students into your most loyal promoters and advocates of your work. So Anu came to me. She was earning maybe 80 to 90 grand a year, and we went close to it was $1 million in about more like 17 months, not a year. She reached about 700 grand in her first 9 months of working with me, right? So we had to change her positioning, change her messaging, get her funnels on point, and ensure that she was delivering her work from a place of really deep aligned power. She had to begin to own her voice and get out of playing the timid sort of angelic queen, which she was sort of playing. She was being very, very timid. So her marketing strategy completely changed. We upped her pricing, and we got the automated funnels and systems set up, and she was able to basically 7x her income within 7 to 8 months. Number 2 is always about really coming through with your message, making sure that your message is embodied and aligned, that you fully own it and you know how to communicate it in the most clear way possible so that people can truly get what you do. So you want to align and embody and craft your $1 million message. So your message is, really important in terms of turning it into that 5-star client attraction channel. And can you just come here for 1 minute, Megan, and hold my computer? Because I have got to take off my jacket because I'm sweltering. Okay. Is everyone getting this?
I'm loving it.
Great. Okay. So really at the end of the day, if you don't have a solid, thank you. If you don't have a solid, we live in Australia here, and it gets really cold in the morning, and then by the time 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. comes and the sun is pouring in, it's like warm again. So really at the heart of everything is the question that I always ask is, what do you stand for? What do you stand for? What lights up your soul? What do you believe that God and the divine is calling for you to share with the world? And it always comes from your suffering. It always comes from some key moment of your life that pretty much probably brought you down to your hands and knees. I could talk and share so much about adrenal health issues, around financial suffering, because I've suffered it. I've suffered in abuse and my own internal abuse. I've suffered victimhood. I'm very, very well aware of all those patterns, and I know exactly what it feels like to go through that, right? So that's why I'm so passionate about sharing this work, because I know the flip side of when you're in that total agony of really under-earning and over-giving and being caught up in that family karma drama and self-worth drama. It's literally paralyzing, okay? So that's why I'm so lit up and turned on to do that work, okay? That might be I work with a lot of women who are business coaches and who want to go into that area. So that might be your core passion as well. So really tune into some of your most painful moments to find your core niche, and then go even deeper and go, okay, well, what is the key message that I really want to bring forward? And that will begin to be the base of your core client attraction model. It'll be also the base of all your messaging, all your video, all your content that you produce to sort of lead people into that beautiful divine journey of, first of all, getting to know you, like you, and trust you, and then eventually to make a decision of if they want to work with you, right? Okay, now what I see with a lot of women, because we've been so shut down and we're so not expressed as much as we would like to be and we need to be, the message just isn't being heard, okay? So take the time to write it. Take the time to vision it, chant, pray. Sorry, I'm going to have to cough. Sorry, I sound terrible today. I actually feel okay. So, okay, I put this point down here. I made a new point that I don't often talk about. I wrote, work with women on a mission, or clients, or whoever you're working with. It might be men as well. But work with people that are on a mission and who are committed to transformation, who are committed to taking responsibility for their lives. So how do you attract clients that are really committed? You've really got to call them on it. You've got to become an activator. You've got to be really, really clear in your messaging around what you stand for, who you work for. Really, I don't get people a lot who are not truly committed to their work. If they go into any sort of sabotage patterns when working with us, I'm going to call them on it, right? But it's really people who, which is normal, that can come up to bite people in the butt, right? But really at the end of the day, I'm not here for people who are really just willing to dip their toe in or who aren't serious. So you've got to ensure that your message is so clear and that you do have a kind of don't fuck with me kind of vibe in terms of being serious about the work that you do and serious about service, and you'll begin to attract people that are serious about themselves, right? So you want to focus more on showing up to serve people with value instead of selling out without deep soul alignment. So you also want to make sure that your work is really deeply aligned to your soul purpose and that you give epic value. And when you give epic value, people are going to begin to see you as that person with credibility and expertise. And when it goes to choosing someone to work with, they're going to choose you over anyone else, okay? It's a whole different experience when you lead from heart and not from the drive for just cash, okay? Cash and money and the monetization of your brand will always come from delivering an incredible service when you price it right, okay? So, having just more money and just driving from the money, for me, it's not enough of a motivator because I'm a soul empath and I'm here to do visionary work on the world. So your selling and your serving have to be focused on a unified process of giving, transformation, of love, right? And so when you've got that down, the energy is one of just such transcendence and passion that it's not coming from this sort of desperate energy of I've got to make the sale. it's coming from this very clear methodology and process that you're sharing of taking people through a transformation. And for that, of course, you pay. I will do heaps of free content, but when someone wants to actually work with me, they have to pay for the implementation of the work and of the process. Is everyone hearing what I'm saying? I've talked about this before. You might not have seen it before. When I'm manifesting and creating, I'm always visualizing and tuning into, I'm a psychic. I do deep downloads of shamanic healing work as well. And so when I'm tuning in and working with my students, number one, every day I'm thinking about, okay, she needs to do this. I need to reach out to this person. I need to do this. I do it with my funnels and my marketing. I need to talk about this. I need to talk about that. I get downloads. I get insight. And it's the same when I'm working on drawing in new clients into my business. I'm thinking about, what does she need? What does that person need? Okay, this person's stuck here. I need to bring this to them. I need to bring that to them. And I'm not even really thinking about the money, because the money is an embodied requirement. The money is just there. I'm no longer sitting in a vibration of shame and my fucking money karma drama, or being worried about what someone might think about my prices, because I'm not fucking expensive for what I charge, and neither will you be. Okay? So when I tell people that I bill out at $5,000 an hour at least, if I'm doing a fucking 1 hour intensive with somebody and they are then able to go off and literally have a $160,000 launch, which has happened time and time again, I've spent 10 minutes with people and they make tweaks and changes to their marketing and their positioning, and they're able to bring in like 200 grand in a matter of weeks. Like, I don't even do that work anymore much, because it's really like, I'd rather charge like 100 grand for a day. That's where I'm at in my business, because I've mastered my craft over the last, 20 years, and the last 6 years specifically online, right? And I don't have any shame about talking about it, right? And I because I fully own the power of my work. I'm not just owning it, I've mastered my craft. If you want to be a business coach, if you want to be a wellness activator for women, if you want to be a wealth activator, you should definitely work with us, because the level of work that we're teaching you is so deep. It's not just a marketing course. It is deep around, how do you put together your IP process? How do you become a better coach, shaman, and healer? Because the way that we have crafted our curriculums and the way that we serve our community with our live coaching calls almost every single day is fucking bar none, fucking sensational. And you get to then take that and put that into your own business, and then I'm able to pay it forward. I have a very, very high level of, I literally will lose my shit at people on my team if their service level is not bar none. Move, get back to people, follow up. Like, I will do extra if I need to do extra. At the end of the day, we need to ensure the highest level of service, and you get to learn that from us by witnessing what we do. So Robin is a current client of mine. She's in my 7-figure diva mind. She did 201,000 in her first 8 weeks of working with me. She's now repositioning her brand a bit and getting ready for ongoing client enrollment. And so she's now still consecutively doing consistent 50K months. And she's been able to do that literally over the last, first 8 weeks. And then she's probably been with me for about 4 months now. And she just keeps growing and growing and growing. And she's sort of slowing things down. And her slowing down is 50K consecutive, consistent months. I currently have about 6 to 8 current clients in my diva mind who are over 50K consecutive months. And when I say consecutive, it's not just 1 month of 50K of sales. It's at least 3, 4, 5, 6 months consecutively of that income. Okay. So we're now going to talk about the gold. Your financial expansion is truly limitless. When you always have a problem to solve and you solve it with excellence, you will always get paid. I think that's the point I'm really trying to make. It's not just, it's solving it. And don't get afraid of me talking about this. You will rise into that level of real mastery and excellence. You're probably already a master at your craft. It's just making sure, I'm sure that you're already a master of it. I attract so many incredibly talented women. So some of it is really owning it better, but also owning it better. I can't even talk properly. owning it more, embodying it more, but also breaking it down and chunking it down, because the way people learn and assimilate information is really important to ensure that if you're doing sort of online big courses and programs and you're serving one-to-many, you may start off just doing one-on-one work, and that's great, and you get really familiar with the service delivery, with the process that you're creating. And then when you're going into one-to-many and you're serving, 10, 20, 30, 50 new clients every single month, we teach all of that. We teach the strategy, we teach the hiring, we teach the team building. You need to have a very clear process, and we go through each of those steps with you and actually give you feedback on every single key component that you need. So you want to price for profit. If you don't price for profit, you'll be out of business. Like, it's that simple. And I really want to say it that way. People say, sometimes call me fierce. People sometimes say that I'm the most loving woman that they've ever met. It's old perception of how I talk and how I am. But I'm going to be really clear around this, because I can't mix my words around this. If you don't price for profit, you're going to poison yourself, not only financially, but energetically, spiritually, and also physically. I have suffered from the greatest physical trauma you could possibly imagine in my life with my body, with my health. Thank God that I am healthy. I don't have any chronic health, diseases, but I have been a chronic pain person my entire life. And a lot of that has come from really not honoring myself and not pricing properly and giving and giving and giving and giving. It is not okay. No part of it is okay. It is literally fucking toxic, and you know what I'm talking about. Okay? It is not okay. Price to profit. Price to expand. Price to be in business in the next 2 years. How many businesses go out of business? The majority, because they don't have the pricing in place. They don't have the systems in place. They don't have the mindset in place, and you don't have the support in place. Seriously. So you need to dissolve the hereditary wounding that keeps you blocked from your own power, and open your womb, your yoni, your life, your heart, your business to limitless abundance, love, and cash flow. So after teaching money and wealth consciousness for many years, I now understand that small shifts lead to massive change. And I wish someone had sort of reminded me along the way. I was my own mother, my own father, my own lover, my own everything, until I met my husband, who's been, a great support. But really, at the end of the day, I've really had to honor and mentor myself so deeply and attune to the divine in such a deep, profound way to really lead me forward. And just these small shifts that I've made, whether it's just getting down, my first offer. I mean, that led to my first $6,000 sale, and that led to the next and the next and the next. Just deciding, making that one sacred vow that I've asked you to make today will begin to have massive ramifications and radical shifts in your life. If you believe in immediate miraculous healing, you can have it now. Just say, I command miraculous divine healing now. If you want to start selling high-end, couture, divine, gorgeous offers tomorrow, you can. There is nothing stopping you from having immediate supply, immediate return when you believe it, when you embody that. Where I see so many women struggle is they just are still at war with themselves all the time. It's just like, stop. It's just such noise. Only focus on the offer, service, the message, the core problem you solve. Everything else needs to be put to the side. I remember all my heavy relationships had to be put to the side. My people-pleasing need to fix all my family's problems had to be put to the side, because I had to focus my energy on building my business, which was my second baby, basically. I had one baby already, husband's half a baby. Just joking, sort of. And then my business. I had to have some jokes, okay? Very serious, and I like to joke and I like to have fun. But it requires a lot of focus. So all the distraction and all the mindset story stuff, often what I find with so many women is all the stuff and the drama and the shit, all that, really, it's actually a deeper fear. I've analyzed this time and time again, okay? I've worked with literally thousands of clients and students, and I've gone through this myself. All that frenetic energy and scattered energy for most visionary women comes down to some unresolved trauma, yes, but a lot of it is a fear of being seen, a fear of actually doing the work, a fear of even making the money, of standing out, of being judged, of being ostracized. These are natural, normal fears, and we can support you with that as well. It's natural to have these fears. But it's like you make yourself really busy and you stay stuck in the suffering because you have a greater fear of being seen, of doing the actual work. But the thing is that it gets worse and worse. The suffering doesn't stay the same. I know it very well because I've lived that life. It gets worse and worse and worse. It doesn't stay at one point. When you reach 30, when you reach 40, 50, 60, if you haven't done the work to shift your life, it's not going to shift, and it gets ugly. It gets very, very ugly and very, very toxic. So when you serve, you allow yourself to prosper, and the energy of love and of abundance permeates every single facet of your life. I feel so blessed, I feel like, my acupuncturist was asking me yesterday, do you feel like sort of irritated lately, whatever, just sort of working on my hormones at the moment, going through perimenopause. That's a whole other story. And I'm like, well, I can kind of get like that sometimes, but I just don't want to be that person anymore. But, and then I tapped into myself a bit more. And I thought, wherever I go in my life, whether I'm shopping for fucking bananas, going to the health food shop, going to my Pilates class, walking into any clothing store, anywhere I go, all I attract pretty much is frigging amazing, divine, joyful, incredible connections. I'm making jokes. I'm having fun. I was trying to analyze myself, and I thought, I'm not the woman who walks around irritated. I'm the woman who is so grateful, who's having fun, who loves people, who believes in sacred, divine, limitless abundance. So I act like that, and I act like that, and I attract that. I meet the best people. I meet celebrities. They invite me to their house. Everything just comes. How does that come to me? I'm not special. It's an energy. Anyone can have this. So you have to be in a state of grace. You have to be in a state of gratitude. You've got to be in a state of joy. You have to live in embodied riches. You have to see and speak and be interested in people. You have to have fun. You have to be confident enough to connect and to shine your light and to live in light pretty much all the time. Doesn't mean that you're not going to have challenges and that you're not going to have ascension days and things like that. But do you understand where I'm coming from? It's a joyous, divine state of being. And that is absolutely what I want for you. And it's available to every single human being. Okay. So conscious money is the only way to truly create harmony, healing, and change in our lives and the lives of others. Don't you just love it? It's conscious. It's divinity. It's abundance. There's a pureness about it. It's not naughty or damaging or manipulative. It's a vibration of love. The divine money demand method is you will create such high demand that you will only work with the best clients, right? You'll now interview them and choose those who are committed to their ascension and who are coachable. That's what I was talking about before. Coachable, dedicated, committed, command it. Say, I command that now. Not only am I making more money than I ever have before, but I'm working with these divine, incredible clients that feel like soul sisters, who do the work, who show up. Yes, yes, yes. It's the best. It's not very fun attracting a client who is a drama queen. I have no time. They are just literally in a toxic spiral, and what they try to do is they try to grasp on you and bring you into their drama. the higher vibration you go, that doesn't really happen anymore. Or you just literally have to like almost like flick it off, because it's just really, they're in their princess, they're in their woe is me kind of vibration, and it's just do not. And if you go into that with a client and kind of, you can hold space for them and invite them to rise up. But really at the end of the day, you don't want to even attract that to begin with. So once your clients get those incredible results, they will rave about you, and then soon more people will come, and you have that law of reciprocity going on. The more people who come to you, the more people will the more people who come, then the more you'll want to sell, and the more amazing clients you'll have to choose from. I don't really get that, but anyway. So I think the point that I'm trying to make there is that it just creates that beautiful, divine, flowing energy. So the fastest way to gain divine revenue momentum is with a proven system that has 3 primary components. You want a powerful content creation system that runs 24/7 to attract and nurture leads with ease and generosity. Number 2, you want a personal messaging and follow-up system which automates your relationship building. Yes, yes, yes. Who wants that? 3, you want a totally hands-off social marketing media component that allows you to stay front of mind without hardly going online unless you really want to. So you want to be able to automate your content process and your relationship building process, right? So what will it take? You need to clear your money karma drama. You need to focus on the magic of your work. You need to package up your genius into a transformational product, and you need to create divine demand and command riches, and you need to build a business that creates a sacred contribution and divine freedom. Shan is another beautiful client who's just had her first 60K month. She's had consecutive, probably 30K, then 40K, then 50, now 60. We're now building out a massive funnel for her. She's incredible. She's a beautiful divine pastor, Christian, who's also teaching women about business and marketing now. So how would that level of success change your life and those of your family and your loved ones? How would it change you having 50, 60K consecutive months? Maybe it's 10 or 20K consecutive months that you want to have. There's a level of consistency, predictability, safety. How would that feel? I remember to even have my first 5K month was bigger than my first 10K month. But it can happen very, very rapidly. So you need to run your business like a diva, not like a novice, and not like a damsel in distress. In other words, you need to stop running your business like a charity. So I invite you to feel into how it would be like to have clients clamoring to work with you, courses flying off the shelf even before you launch them, a community filled with people who love and rave about you all the time because you're doing great free work as well, cashing with your content, cashing clients flowing in consistently, calm and confidence, filling every single pore of your sexy divine soul. How would that feel? So I hope today that I've been able to serve you deeply. Sorry about the cold, and I really wanted to be here today. At the end of the day, you can absolutely have a highly successful business if you put all the facets together. It's really like building blocks. My daughter loves Lego. It's like building upon. And you need to have those key components together. And when you have them together, that's when the magic comes. I was lecturing in my 7-figure diva mind. And right now, it's not about, I went into that thing of, how do I get my first client, and then getting clients. And then I started to build that and then get my offer. And then I began to get flow and flow and flow, and then more flow and more flow. When it's not necessarily anymore about how do I get my next client, because you've mastered that. Then it's like, how do you scale beyond like the 200 grand and 300 grand, and how do you create all the systems and structures of running that type of company where you'll have the CEO up the top, and then you've got all your different people that sit like a pyramid below you. And that's the kind of work that we're doing in 7-figure diva. And I've had to learn it all from scratch. And I've loved learning it. It's been such an incredible journey to go on. I have had my challenges for sure during my business. I remember, having 100K months and doing pretty well. This is about 3 years ago. And then I hot-tailed it to New York with my family for a month. Spent all this money, had a nanny there with me. What else did we do? The apartment that we had was on Broadway in 11th. It was like a $20,000 apartment for the month USD. That was okay. But I had a great time with all my clients. People flew in from all around the world. It was just incredible and beautiful. And by the time I got home, I was just sort of exhausted, and I hired my very first coach, and I kind of got overwhelmed, and I made some very key mistakes. And I remember waking up and looking at my bank account and being like, oh my God, what happened? Like, that was so, effed up. And I literally had, I think, I went from 100K months to having very little in my bank account, like a few $1,000s left or something. And I literally was in the fetal position, lying in my couch going, what the fuck? And I analyzed it and learnt from that. I know exactly the mistake I made, and I'll share it with you. And it's everything to do with what I'm telling you about setting up your business in the right way. And what I'd failed to do, I can look back now and laugh. I did cry. I did yell at my husband going, is there one thing that you cannot look at while I'm teaching and coaching and working on the curriculum and whatever? And then I was putting money into training this coach and getting her set up, and I was just exhausted. And there was probably many, many years of not taking a solid break, and I had a little child at the time, and I was just exhausted. And oh my God. And so I realized that I didn't have an automated marketing system. So when I'm there teaching in New York, when I'm there, trying to have time off, be with my family, be present, unless, organic marketing is fine to a degree. You can make a lot of money doing organic marketing pretty quickly. And then if you don't put a system in place to automate it, you're always required to be online. You're always required to, be promoting and be doing free content. Now, when I do this free content, like the one that I'm doing today, I'm doing it because I want to. I'm doing it because I want to connect with my audience. I'm doing it because it lights me up. But if I take a break for a month, my business doesn't fall over because I have my automated marketing funnel. And if I put that in place, then I would have been able to have clients coming in right now. As I've been here with you, it's fucking life-changing. I have already booked this morning like 10 calls for people that are interested in working with me and my team. This is not miracle-based stuff. This is process strategic work. You have to set it up. You just do. It's beautiful. It's like liberating. I talk about the masculine and the feminine energies coming together. The femme to serve, the femme to be juicy and pleasure-based and yummy and divine. If you want to be in the femme, you have to have these structures put together, whether they're masculine or also feminine, whatever. Really at the end of the day, the feminine business model requires structure. Does everyone hear what I'm saying? So when you have things like that happen, you can almost go bankrupt. And if you stay in overwhelm for too long, like you basically have 24 hours to 48 hours, maybe 72 hours to fucking cry, have a hissy fit, stamp your feet, and then you've got to go into, what the fuck did I do? And what will I never, ever, ever do again? Why did that happen? Right? And then I started to just automate, and I actually already had certain stuff already ready, and I just already had a funnel and stuff, but I don't know, I wasn't spending enough money on advertising. And you want to spend money. Guys, I spend anywhere between 10 to 20 grand minimum a week on advertising. You don't start there. I didn't start there. So as a result, I get thousands of leads and literally hundreds of clients every single month. I have learned this. I started from zero with one offer, sold my first 6K, then sold my next 60K from broke, pretty much, right? And when I needed to invest, I found the money, I got the money and made it happen. When I had almost zero in my bank account, I got a PayPal loan. My husband was like, I'm going to get a PayPal loan. We got approved 20K. We put every single cent of that 20K onto my funnel. It was a funnel that I knew that worked. I had great messaging. I'm good at that. I knew that from my advertising days and my Media days. I had a beautiful 8-part video series that I gave away for free. And that's the first time when I launched my first business school, I had 60 people book calls and 20 people said yes to me and 40 people said no to me. And as the no's were coming in, I kept focusing on the yeses. Yes, yes, until I got those people. They're saying yes, yes, yes. And then I had to learn how to master selling without wanting to hurl. I've now crafted my whole own divine $1 million 7-figure sales process. It's a beautiful, organic, divine, loving, heart-centered sales process that when people read that document from our core curriculum, they sell high-ticket offers just from reading the document, and embodying the new energy and frequency. So I'm sharing this story because I think it's important for you to realize that I started from zero and that I make mistakes and that I learn from the mistakes and I keep going. And that's what makes you rich. It's not stopping. It's not going into the wounded sort of victim. You have to rise up and keep going. Otherwise, you're going to, you can do what you want, right? Sometimes I'd like to stay in bed for the next week and not get out. Now I'm rich enough to do that and my business keeps going. But really what I'm trying to say is you have to have resilience. You have to turn things around quickly. So much love. Thank you for being here. You're divine. You can absolutely do this, and a million divine blessings. Bless, bless, bless. So gorgeous. If you've been listening and you're ready to grow your booming, beautiful online business, or you're ready to take your current business into a whole other divine, juicy stratosphere, schedule a call with one of my strategists. We're going to map out a 4-part plan to radically grow your revenue and your impact with authenticity, grace, and proven strategy. I cannot wait to explore how we can make magic together. So apply for your complimentary strategy call now at ceodivachat.com.